ビビボン運命に翻弄される吸血鬼たち。反転するのは希望か絶望か。その目が知る終焉の道しるべに落ちた真相は何を無双するのか。空想が聖杯に注がれる時、新たな戦いの火蓋が切られる。月姫フェイトグランドオーダースペシャルイベント新鮮血英霊譚落ちる。
召喚に従い参上した。東王、あなたが私のマスターか。
Hello and welcome back. I want to read this secret word. Aiko kotoba. So Aiko kotoba. Interesting. Anyway, we're gonna read this. We have to go to the usual MLT because this has no translation. So yeah. All right, let's get started. And I thought everything would end perfectly. Wrapped. Give me a second. Wait, let me restart. I'll be right back. Sorry, I had some weird thing happen. So I'm using I'm using Magpie right now because I so small, so something messed up. Anyway, when I was a kid, I thought love would be like in the movies and novels. A romantic, fateful adventure where you find treasure like affection. And I thought it would be it will all end happily ever after, wrapped in overwhelming fulfillment and just a touch of loneliness. But in reality, instead of the grand story I imagined, I'm living a pretty ordinary life, one that doesn't really lend itself to storytelling. I was born in a peaceful country, never deeply hurt by anything, and I don't struggle for food. Wait. Let me retranslate this. Give me a second. My LLM is hallucinating for some reason. I'll be right back. I don't know what's causing my LLM to hallucinate. Anyway, I was born in a peaceful country, haven't been deeply hurt by anything, and I don't struggle with food or work or food. I mean, wait. I mean, I know I'm lucky, but watching the protagonist get hurt behind the screen and still fight their destiny sometimes makes me want to scream. When they act all high and mighty, sprouting off about how important normal life is, I just want to grab them all by the scruff of their necks and tell them to shove it. I want to believe that somewhere in the world there's a door that only I can open with my own special password, and beyond it, freshly laundered, wondered. Pure love and all those things. But since I can't find one that conveniently fits, I use a small device everyone has to open, an aikotoba that fits in my hand. Oh, okay. Aikotoba is that app. Is an app in their world. Okay, interesting. The stifling summer heat clung to the room where I had just returned from work, but a flick of the AC switch sent it all scattering. I quickly ate the dinner I brought at the kombini and took a shower and collapsed onto my bed. It's just past 10 p.m. It's 9:25 p.m. in real life. Too early to sleep, but too late to do anything. Just past 10 p.m. Again, still too early for bed and too late to start something new. Just past 10 p.m. I think this is a hallucination. This is the second just past. Why is my model hallucinating right now? In the end, all I could do was laze around on my phone, aimlessly browsing the internet. Speaking of which, I remember my coworker asking me today if I was on aikotoba. Apparently a pretty popular social media app, but I'm not really into that kind of thing. I was told that if I joined, it would be easier to stay in touch and make new friends, so they encouraged me to join too. I only have a few close friends at work, including that colleague. I don't really care, but for some reason my coworkers... Yeah, why is it repeating? Give me a second. No, okay, I know what's going on. It's not the prompt that I'm using. It's the hook. It's being weird. I don't mind at all, but for some reason my coworkers worry about me and try to get me to make connections with other people. Like inviting all our friends for a barbecue or getting called out to grab drinks, only to find it was a group date or being introduced to his family. And that's besides the point. At the time, a coworker was being pretty persistent, so I just said sure. But by the time I finished work and got home, I completely forgot about it. I figured she'd keep pestering me about how my day at work went, so I reluctantly downloaded the aikotoba app.
ごきげんよう。僕、アザラシだよ。
Gokugenyo. When I launched the app right after installation, some weird sea-like mascot popped up. Or rather, since he's calling himself a polar bear, I guess that's probably what he is.
突然ですが、クイズの時間です。
Seriously, out of nowhere?
あるところに薄汚い豚野郎がいました。豚野郎は毎日とある女の子の後を尾行しているのですが、どうしてでしょう？
Tapping the screen brought up 4 answer choices. After I'm hallucinating myself. After randomly selecting one, another question started, and this cycle repeated over and over.
君のことはこれでよくわかったような気がしたよ。
Power of AI. Just a feeling. I ended up seriously roasting my own character. It's kind of hilarious to me now.
君は他人を信じられない。とてもかわいそうな人みたいだね。
Literally me. Mind your own business.
どうせ大人は分かってくれないとか、自分は他の人とは違うんだとか、今は運が悪いだけでまだ本気を出していないんだとか思ってたりしないかな。
Knows me too well. I don't think so. Probably.
でも今の君も君だから、辛くても現実を受け入れよう。
This penguin mascot is nothing but trouble. Always saying the wrong
太
thing.
陽が沈んでもまた明日になれば昇るから、明日の君はきっと別の新しい君だよ。
Wait,
頑張って。
did my LLM just go like from polar bear to penguin? I don't understand my fucking LLM. Apparently, even this penguin mascot says nice things. Sounds like something he just picked up for someone else, though.
現実には頑張ってもどうにもならないことばっかりだから、頑張っても無駄かもしれないね。
Retraction. This walrus-like mascot It's a little weird.
さてさて、くだらない話をしているうちに準備が整ったみたいだよ。
Am I really calling this stupid? Yeah, it was pretty stupid.
寂しん坊の君には僕から特別に友達を紹介してあげるよ。よかったら後で僕の口座にお金を振り込んでね。じゃあバイバイ。お互い二度と会いたくないね。
I never want to see you again. It's like something criminals would say after finishing a deal. After the penguin-like mascot disappeared, penguin. It doesn't look like a penguin, it looks like a seal. I was taken to the iKotaba home screen, where a timeline message that must have met certain conditions was displayed. Well, I guess this is good for now. I've already started using the app, so if I get their ID from them at work tomorrow, we follow each other. My co-workers will be happy. The clock said it was almost bedtime, but I wasn't sleepy yet. I tried watching TV to pass the time until I got sleepy, but the sound just echoed emptily. It wasn't working. Games and internet were no different. I wonder if it would be different if I had someone to talk to, like a kanajo or something. I'm such a loner. I was a little annoyed that I ended up thinking just like Azarashi said. Who's Araza? I was jolted awake by the alarm and sluggishly washed my face and brushed my teeth. I made some hot coffee for breakfast and unlocked my ketai to check it smartphone while waiting for it to cool down a bit. While waiting for the coffee to cool down a bit, and saw several unfamiliar new notifications. Oh, whatever. The new notifications was from iKotaba. Figuring I should check, I opened the app and found most of them were just people following my account. I don't know why I'm getting followed when I haven't done anything yet. Let's see who it is. But of course, they're all people I've never heard of before. Most of my followers were silent, but there was one person who followed me with a proper greeting. Whoa, you're a real stickler for rules these days. Her registered name in the app is Yozara. Yozara Night Sky, night sky, anyway. By the way, I'm Takumi Mizukami. So just Takumi, no twist to it at all. It's my homyo. Thinking I should at least say hi and follow back, I checked how to use the app while accessing Yozara's home screen, and her profile caught my eye with a short self-introduction. Student, huh? Why did you even follow me? Yozara's timeline is usually filled with pictures of cute animals and sweets from some shop, along with occasional school-related posts. Online, you can't see faces or hear voices. It's not always the case, but her timeline definitely had the overly sweet vibe girls sometimes have. I totally understand that. And my eyes landed the current location field in her profile. She lives in Sendai? Bro, Sendai is really far. Like northern Japan. Not Hokkaido, like Hokkaido North, like just before Hokkaido, like Aomori then Sendai, I guess. Anyway. Sendai. That place holds a lot of memories for me. That's my hometown. And though now I live far away in Osaka due to circumstance. Okay, that's way too further because I was thinking he was in Tokyo as a point of reference, but now he lives in Osaka, so that's really far. Anyway, it's still the place where I spent most than half of my time. No, I'm only 20 years old. Late. I was so absorbed in reading Yozara's timeline that I lost track of time. I just sent a quick greeting, down my cold coffee, and rushed out the door. Looking back on it later, there was nothing particularly dramatic about that moment. The morning air was stagnant as usual, and my steps to work were heavy. But anyway, and this is my first meeting with Takumi and Yozora. I thought I'd stop using aikotoba after a while, but it lasted much longer than I expected. It was definitely useful for after-work drinks with colleagues and quick personal updates, and I was quickly surprisingly happy to get reactions to the photos I posted on my timeline. Man, I wish posting it. No, sometimes what I post is interesting. Not on my YouTube channel. I mean my actual social media accounts. Anyway. Well, I'm too lazy to worry about those things nowadays, except for shit posting. Anyway, but I think the biggest reason it lasted so long is my relationship with Yozora. We haven't really talked about anything special, just the usual back and forth replies on everyday stuff. But somehow our wavelengths just clicked. Man, just some random girl just messaging your fucking, just commenting in your fucking wall post. Holy shit. I have feelings for her. Or maybe I'm even in love, but I'll never tell her that. I'm just idealizing Yozora because I can't see her face or hear her voice, tricking myself into thinking she's like a heroine from a dating sim. What's the term for dating sim again in Japanese? There's a specific term. I forgot. Anyway. My life. Bishoujo game? Anyway. With just a hint of someone else's presence creeping in, but otherwise unchanged, was about to take a major turn one day as November drew near. A business trip? Me? I work as a salesman for a certain stationery company based in the Osaka headquarters. I heard we occasionally had business trips, but it seems I've been chosen this time. I'm on a business trip to Sendai. It seems like being from my hometown where I spent my childhood was part of the reason why I was chosen. Even if I was told to go no matter what, I had no problem. The real problem with business trips back then. Alright. It's not a super long business trip, so this much luggage should be fine. The business trip will be about a month, maybe 2 at most, so I only need to bring my usual personal items and clothes. Alright, I need to reply to Yozora. Lately, I've been using a password-protected private chat room instead of posting personal stuff on the timeline. Among the app users, it seems customary to call that password the passphrase in a quaint way. Apparently, the word aikotoba has a double meaning, and passphrase is one of them, apparently. Anyway. The way time just stopped in that virtual space, with just the two of us, felt strangely like we were holed up in a secret hideout, where you needed a password to get in. I told Yozora about my sudden business trip to Sendai, and before she could reply, I immediately asked her. Speaking of which, why did you follow me? How did she even find me? Honestly, I've been wondering about that since the very beginning.
私と匠さんの運命指数が 99% だったからです。
Huh. Fate index. Fate index. Well, I'm 99% to get fucking yeah, maybe I should do one of those random who is my fucking servant. Anyway, never mind. that was random.
あれ？知らないんですか？合言葉は最初のクイズに答えた後に相性判定みたいなのがあって、それで運命の相手を探せるんですよ。
Ah, so it's like a recommended user.
そうそう、そんな感じです。
I didn't know, or rather, I wasn't interested in those extra features, so I only ever used the timeline in the chat room. Well, he had answered a set of questions at the beginning. But you know what? I think the app I know that the app had asked questions about like fucking details about your age and all that stuff. Imagine like the app only asks those set of questions and your username and password and all that sort of thing, but then it asks like, "What's your age?" Maybe at least I don't think even bothers like where you live, because he was able to match with someone from Sendai. It's like seeing someone from across the fucking state. I mean, from the East Coast to the West Coast, kind of thing. Jesus, like, what if your 99% compatibility is? What if you're 30 years old? You got matched with like a 19-year-old or like an even much more younger. This app's gonna go down. Holy shit. But anyway. Besides, I never actually actively follow anyone myself, so I had no idea something like a destiny score even existed.
さっきも言いましたけど、合言葉が診断した私と匠さんの運命指数って 99% なんですよ。
I fucking hate this inconsistency. I mean, it sounds. Anyway, whatever.
そのことを友達に話したら、砂漠に雪が降るくらいレアだって。だからついついフォローさせてもらっちゃいました。
I felt like I saw Yozura's face on the other side of the message. She was slightly embarrassed, sticking out her tongue and smiling adorably.
匠さんさえよかったら仙台で会ってみませんか？
Oh, I wish that were me. Anyway. The moment I saw that message, my heart leaped. No, it was pure terror. The temporary relationship we had, connected only by aikotoba, without even knowing each other's faces or voices, felt incredibly comfortable. If possible, I wanted things to stay as they were until our relationship naturally faded away. But meeting in person and knowing your face and voice will definitely change something. You might be disappointed when you meet me. I wonder what she'll think. Oh, this is who it was all along.
それは私を見て匠さんが思うことかも。
It was strange, but even through the cold text on my smartphone, I could tell Yosara was chuckling. Does she even know what I'm thinking right now?
運命の出会いって匠さんは信じていませんか？
Oh, okay. So our MC's name is Takumi. I think there was a earlier line that confused me because it felt like he got connected with two people, but it was only just one person. Okay, this fucking LLM man. Anyway, what do you think? The Yosara who believes in something that doesn't even exist is so pure and endearing. It's almost blinding, especially since I've long stopped believing in such things myself. I sometimes think that the feeling like that it was what it means to be an adult. But maybe that's just a childish delusion. But maybe me and Yozora really are meant to be. I can't deny that part of me that hopes it's true. Ja, let's meet.
本当ですか？よかった。今からすっごく楽しみです。
I managed to calm down Yozora, who was practically radiating excitement, and the meeting ended up being just a quick discussion. Then little by little, we filled in each other's schedules until the day of my business trip, deciding on meeting places and landmarks. Before I knew it, the days had slipped away. And I have war flashbacks hearing like the plane sound effect. I have war flashbacks, you know. Oh, it's November 20th, I guess. I have war flashbacks thanks to a certain visual novel called White Album 2. But anyway, after a roughly 1 hour flight from Itami Airport near Osaka, I was finally standing on the ground in Sendai for my business trip. And the day after arriving at the branch office right after landing to finish my greetings, I finally settled into the company-provided housing. How many years has it been? I was still in high school back then. I arrived in Sendai, late yesterday afternoon, so I didn't have time to really soak in the feeling of being back home or properly take in the scenery. But today was a public holiday before the official launch, and also today I was meeting Yozara, so I headed into the town feeling half nervous and half nostalgic. While waiting for our meeting time, I wandered the city streets, reminiscing about those days. Oops. When I calculated it, that big disaster that hit all of Tohoku, the one that was partly why I left Sendai, was 7 years ago. Wait, so right now it's 2019 because the Sendai stuff was like, the Tohoku stuff was 2012. Okay. Samui. By November, Sunday wind was already cold enough to make you want the scar when it blew through. The wind feels so much colder and harsher than when I still lived in Sendai. I wish things hadn't changed this much. Oops, this is about time. I decided to take a look around the area in the front of the stained glass at Sendai Station, Ikimae, where I was supposed to meet Yozara. Still not here yet. Ooh, not bad. And there are probably a lot of people waiting like me, but I don't know which one is Yozara. We never exchanged photos before, and the only thing we told each other about was what we were wearing. Oh yeah. Yeah, things like that happen, and I'm like, yeah. The girl next to me seemed to be waiting for someone too, staring intently at her smartphone screen, wearing a red scarf on her coat. It matches the outfit Yozara was wearing, but there are other people dressed similarly. Should I try contacting her? I sent a message saying I arrived at Aikotoba. The red receipt appeared immediately, but even after waiting a bit, there was no reply. I wondered if I got carried away. Maybe she's hiding somewhere watching me and laughing at me right now. Yeah, I guess that's about right. About it, I mean, I was just joking, but I also felt a little disappointed. Just when I thought I wasn't going to walk around anymore and would head home.
もしかしてたくみさんですか?
I reflexively looked up when called by a sweet, girlish voice that seemed just right for her age.
そう
I hate that. Translated Uso as, I mean, technically Uso is lie, but like it could be also be like translated as no way. The girl next to me was suddenly looking at me. Her features were undeniably beautiful, but her expression was one of utter surprise. The moment I saw her face, my breath caught in my throat.
もしかしてって思ってたけど本当に
I'm standing in front of her, and I'm so confused I can't even get a proper sentence out. Her face, which I thought I was seeing for the first time, perfectly matched the image etched in my memory.
嘘じゃないんだよね
Why? How could this be? No way. Or should I say Uso? My mind is filled with questions.
じゃあ
What do you mean, Oni-chan? The nostalgic sound of those words instantly erased my jumbled thoughts. My mouth, dry as dust, opened of its own accord, and forced her name out from the depths of my throat. Uzuki. Uzuki, my imoto, whom I was separated from 7 years ago.
そうだよ。うずきだよ。たくみさん。
As I whispered her name, the tears in her eyes slowly turned into a smile. It was a smile I didn't recognize, but it definitely had the familiar essence of Uzuki's face. How? どうして? Why is Uzuki here? I was supposed to meet Yozora, but... Alright. Uzuki stayed in Sendai, so it's just a coincidence. Huh? But if that's the case, why did you call me Takumi-san? There's only one answer to that. Mate. Uzuki, is she Yozora?
はい。夜空です。
Yozora. She said that and showed me her ketai, which displayed the message I had just sent. That's... no way. In stark contrast to my flustered state, Yozora's, Uzuki's eyes brimmed with tears again.
ずっと会いたかったんだから。たくみお兄ちゃん。
Me too.
大阪に行ってからどうしてたの？向こうのお家はどうだった？私のこと忘れてなかった？
Wait, you said... Wait, I can't process that much at once. No, I think he meant to say I said wait. Anyway, the barrage of questions only made things more confusing.
合言葉の運命指数 99% って本当のことだったんだ。だってそうじゃないとこんな風に会えるはずがないよ。
And Uzuki, my own imoto, just jumped into my arms like it was the most natural thing in the world for siblings to do. Shodai.
おかえり。おかえりなさい。お兄ちゃん。
The unfamiliar sweet scent coming from my imoto, whom I thought I knew, it was telling me that Uzuki had grown into a girl all on her own. And if there truly is a thing such as fate in this world, then it began here where Aikotaba brought us together. Oh, my eye. I accidentally...
君と出会ったあの日のことを僕は今でもはっきりと覚えているんだよ。胸ドキドキ期待半分手に汗握る瞬間のあなたと出会ったあの日のことを私は今でも覚えているの。冬の足音聞こえる駅の改札人何か気分け現れた頭くるくる息苦しくて心が高鳴る響かせたいよ響かせたいのこの愛言葉君に伝えたいことが伝えられないほどに思いあふれ目と目見つめ合ったまま
A heavy silence hung between us as we moved from the stained glass window weaning spot to a nearby family restaurant. Now that we met, Uzuki has stopped bombarding me with questions and is just staring at me, watching my every move. It's been a full 7 years since I last saw my imoto Uzuki in person, not once since I left Sendai. To think I'd be back in this situation like this. If I had to put it in cliche terms, I never imagined it. Were you doing okay? The words that finally escaped my lips felt hollow. 7 years of silence had stolen my ability to think.
見ての通り元気だよ。お兄ちゃんこそ元気にしてた？
Same here. I graduated college and got a job, just like you said.
知ってる。合言葉でたくさん話してくれたもんね。
Oh, right. I still can't believe that Uzuki is in front of me. It's the same Yozara from Aikotoba. How are my aunt and uncle treating you?
本当の子供みたいに可愛がってもらってるよ。
Oh, I think he meant to say, how is uncle and auntie treating you or something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna think of anything to say and ended up asking a polite, meaningless question. Uzuki just gave me the same kind of automatic reply in return. My parents and Uzuki's died in a massive disaster 7 years ago. Blood related, right? Alright, we are so in. Everything from the time is a mess, and I don't even want to remember, yet the details are burned into my memory so vividly. The disaster was part of it, but the biggest reason was all the family drama that hit us after we lost Mom, Kasa, and Tosan. Even now, I don't know all the details, but apparently Kasa and Tosan always had a really complicated relationship with their families. They were practically estranged from most relatives. But after the disasters, my parents died, and as the eldest son, I was sent to live with my paternal grandparents in Osaka, while Uzuki went to stay with her maternal aunt and uncle in Sendai. This is kind of convenient. So they wouldn't know each other, of course. Ooh, kind of makes you think. And the family is estranged, so if the parents meet one of them, the other sibling, they wouldn't know. Ooh. There was apparently quite a fuss among the relatives about what would happen to Uzuki and me, but that had nothing to do with us kids back then. But after being separated, Takumi and Uzuki became hesitant to even contact each other. We were forced down different paths in life, and Uzuki even changed her last name. Ooh, great convenient. Now that I'm an adult, I can see those past troubles were just grown-up issues and compromises. I can understand it, but whether I'll accept it is another matter entirely.
お兄ちゃんこそ向こうのお家は大丈夫だった？
Yeah, it's nothing. Just normal. I was bullied or treated badly because of being adopted like in dramas. It was trick, but fair.
そう、よかった。
I can't keep the conversation going. I don't know what to talk about anymore. We used to be so lively in Aikotoba, but now both Uzuki and I are as quiet as borrowed cats.
ねえ、お兄ちゃん。
Finally, Uzuki's smile was back. And it definitely had traces of her old self, but also a new kind of laughter that held 7 years I didn't know about.
やっと会えたね。
Okay, they're being awkward. They're repeating the what they said when they first met.
約束守ってくれたね。
No matter what, I'll definitely go pick up Uzuki. In a way. That was our promise, made 7 years ago. It wasn't any promise. It wasn't because of any promise. I just happened to be in Sendai for a business trip, and it just so happened that Yozora was Uzuki.
そうかな。私は運命だと思う。
Uzuki stated firmly.
私今まで何度もお兄ちゃんと連絡を取ろうとしてたんだもん。手紙とか電話番号を調べてとか。それなのにこんな形で会えるなんて、やっぱり運命っていう以外にないと思う。
They probably couldn't even imagine the internet back then. And just a bunch of old folks after all. 2012? Bro, 2012 there was already internet. What the fuck? I mean, I understand the grandparents part. Bro, 2012? So, I mean, the game takes place in 2019. Anyway.
運命の進歩のおかげだね。
Watching Uzuki chuckle, I finally begin to realize I'm starting to accept reality, Genjutsu.
実はね、合言葉で話しているうちに、もしかしたら匠さんはお兄ちゃんなのかもって思ってたんだ。
Why?
だってお兄ちゃん本名そのままで登録してるんだもん。
You registered using your real name. Okay. I just didn't want to bother coming up with a handle. I took a sip of my coffee as I answered. And the cheap coffee from the drink dispenser was stone cold, but it did help me hide that dumbfounded look I couldn't shake.
運命指数が 99% だったからだけじゃないの。匠っていう名前じゃなかったらコンタクトはしなかったと思う。
Yes, I get it. It's an alignment of the stars kind of thing. A coworker recommended Aikatoba, and since I was too lazy to think of a username, I just used my Homyo. Taking a random quiz, I somehow got 99% compatibility with Yozora. Because of that, Yozora started talking to me. She lives in Sendai, and I happened to be on a business trip there, so we ended up meeting. It might seem like a coincidence, but maybe all those coincidences created Ume and brought Uzuki and me back together today. So, and that's a fake name.
じゃないと危ないかなって。あ、別に変なことしてるわけじゃないよ。
No, totally understandable. Who makes like a username with their real name? Unless like I see some YouTubers, YouTube channels, you know, Kenji Fukuwara or something like that. Kenji.Fukuwara98. You can tell they were born in 98. Anyway. I mean, I was already doing that. I was using very obscure usernames since, as far as I remember. Except for the YouTube channel I have right now, it was originally like a Google account for something else that is related to me, but I decided to repurpose it because for some reason it had stronger security settings, and somehow it became a YouTube channel. And I was already uploading on my other YouTube channel, so oh yeah, my several other YouTube channels. Anyway, never mind. Let's go see. Yeah, I get it.
本当だよ。こうやって人に会うのも初めてだし。
I'm not doubting you, but Yozora, back then, we used to stargaze together in the balcony a lot. Okay, okay, I get it. I get it now.
うんちゃんと覚えてくれてたんだなって。
And there's no way I'd forget.
そうだよね。
Uzuki narrowed her eyes, smiling wistfully, as she reminisced about that time. Now that it's too late, but if I had paid closer attention to the information Yosara shared and deduced carefully, Maybe I could have realized her identity was Uzuki. Before I knew it, it was already this late. I checked the checked the time on my smartphone and realized evening was already approaching without me noticing.
まだ全然話してないのに。
If you get home late, Aunt and Uncle will worry. Should we head back soon?
うん。
I mean, she's still a student. Uzuki looks dissatisfied, but when I get up to pay, she can't just stay here forever, so she eventually leaves the table with a still unhappy expression. I opened the door to the family restaurant, and the chilly wind swept through, making my body shiver involuntarily. I reflexively turned around, and there, sure enough, my Imoto was following me. Just like 7 years ago, but in a completely different way. I don't know why. I suddenly miss Akiha. And now I'm looking at my Akiha figure and be like, yeah. It's cold, almost night, and it's winter, so I guess that's expected.
こんなのまだまだだよ。忘れちゃった？
I wonder if that's true. Well, it's been 7 years, so I've probably forgotten a lot, and there are things I don't know
大
anymore.
阪は寒くないの？
I don't think it's colder than Sendai, but it'll still be freezing in winter.
ふーん。行ったことがないからどんな感じなのかわからないな。
Wait, how is Osaka cold during winter? Because Osaka is like way more south from Tokyo. And I've been in Tokyo during winter time and I was like, bro, this isn't cold. This isn't cold. I could walk out in a t-shirt while everyone's wearing a coat. But anyway. But it's a different story when you think about Sendai and like Aomori and Hokkaido. Those places are damn cold. Anyway. The story continued in fits and starts, as if she were remembering it. Whether talk, school, or work stuff. Things about my life right now. Even though I did the same thing in Aikotoba, talking face to face with her voice actually carries a different, more real weight. Now that we know each other's true identities, I feel like there are so many things we want to talk about, but neither of us knows where to begin. So that's why, when I said it was time for me to head home, Uzuki just nodded without arguing. I have work. Uzuki has got Now that we're living such different lives, there's no way we can keep sharing the same time together like we used to.
じゃあ、お兄ちゃん。
Hey, be careful on your way home. No detours.
もう子供じゃないよ。お兄ちゃんってそんなに口うるさかったっけ？
Uzuki gave a wry smile as she passed through the ticket gate, turning back to me three times, like she didn't want to leave yet. Man, this hurts me, man. I'm so convinced by this whole thing. I don't know why. I thought about telling her to watch where she's going, but after being called a nag earlier, I just kept my mouth shut. Just as Uzuki disappeared from my sight, my smartphone vibrated with a notification from Aikotoba. And there was no need to wonder who it was. The sender, of course, was Uzuki. Why not just see it straight? The message from Aikotoba was short. When can we meet again? I'll be free whenever you're off work, I replied. When I'm off work. Okay, I hate how it switches the pronouns. I mean the object of the subject. I sent the message wondering if it was a bit blunt, but she replied with "got it" right away. Even as we're talking through Aikotoba in a somewhat detached way, I know it's Uzuki on the other end, But she doesn't feel like Uzuki at all. I find it kind of funny, and I remember that until I found out who she really was, I had feelings for her like love. It was like something that was sleeping deep inside me has started to throb again. She's my Imoto. What are you even? I let the ticket game and started walking through the city again, letting out a sigh without even realizing it. But that 99% Unme index connecting me and Uzuki was given to us so we could fulfill the promise we made 7 years ago. In that case, the Naikotoba, which suggested Uzuki as my destined partner, wasn't wrong at all. I decided that as I walk home with my back to the station, retracing my steps. Ooh, another view. Oh, so this is one of those VNs that switches POVs. Okay, you know what? I like that. I like it. It's been a while. And during moving classes, I kept checking the new messages from Aikotoba that had just arrived. It was a new message from my Oni-chan, of course. It was a reply to the message I sent in our private chat room. What are you doing now? I'm at work right now. I'll talk to you later. Even though it's such a blunt message, for some reason I can't stop staring at my phone screen. Uzuki's been in a good mood lately, huh? My friend, who I was walking with, said something, and my gaze jumped from my phone screen. Right. You've been glued to your phone way too much lately.
そうかな。そんなに見てるかな。
24 times since this morning. That's a dramatic abnormal number.
嘘。わざわざ数えてるの？
Because you look like you're having so much fun. Now, even serious Izuki has some life in her.
潤い？
Yeah. So, you finally got a karushi? Just know, Uzuki having a karushi. Huh, that's kind of profound.
待って、違うってば、彼氏なんかいないよ。
You got a hot tip, don't you? Spill it. Hey. So, are you the younger or older?
それは年上。
Or they meant to say is he older? You know what? I can't tell. I can't tell. This LOM. Ah. Yeah.
彼氏じゃなくてお兄ちゃんなの。
There's no difference in this world for them. Oni-chan?
髪がぐちゃぐちゃになっちゃった。
Uzuki. Calling him Oni-chan is kind of lame. Not that I expect you to get paid for it, right?
なんか勘違いしてない？
I glare back at my two suspicious friends, trying to hold them off. I don't know. Making you call him Oni-chan feels a little...
だから本当に本物のお兄ちゃんなの。
Huh? But Uzuki's Oni-chan is... Didn't you say you were separated as kids due to some circumstances?
そうだよ。でも合言葉で運命指数 99% って診断された人のこと話したでしょ？
Yeah, I heard you. We're the ones who told you to follow him since he's super rare.
その 99% の人がね、お兄ちゃんだったの。
You just know. Hontoni. Machi. What a miracle. My friends are looking at each other, practically vibrating with excitement like it's their own thing. Somehow, that just makes me happy. I try to keep a straight face, but I can't stop myself from grinning.
奇跡だよね本当に
It's like a set. You must have been surprised too. Oni-chan, she said.
びっくりしたのは私の方だよ
I mean, your Oni-chan got surprised.
すごくかっこよくなってたの
So he looks incredibly cool. Okay, I got it, Brocon. Yeah. Here comes Uzuki's little Brocon. Wait, that's redundant. Uzuki's Brocon thing again. I've heard that a million times already. Hey, we're gonna be late for next class and we don't head out soon.
待ってよもっとお兄ちゃんのこと話させて
You know what? I'm gonna be disappointed with fucking Anemone, man. Next to the demo, I already have a disappointment in mind. Anyway, I was just about to tell you everything about my Oni-chan, but now I'm chasing after my two friends who were trying to leave me behind. Tell them about my Oni-chan. That's when it happened.
あれ
What's up, Uzuki?
お兄ちゃんが
It was like my Oni-chan just walked past in the hallway. You've gotten so obsessed with your Oni-chan that you even started seeing hallucinations.
それすっごく人聞きが悪い
But it's true. Sounds like some sketchy drug. Uzuki's Oni-chan. Gotta watch the dosage, huh?
もう
I had jokingly chased after my friend who was running away. And while I'm chasing her, I start to think maybe it was just a figment of my imagination. My Oni-chan being at school when he's supposed to be working is impossible. Wait, he works at a stationery company, so maybe. Anyway, all right. Looks like I'll be able to get it on before time. That day, I was on my way to a certain academy in Sendai for negotiations with a business partner, Gakuin Sai. My main reason for this business trip is to secure a new sales channel by successfully closing the deal with that Gakuin Sai. My smartphone vibrates. A notification from Aikotoba. The message is, of course, from Yozora, Uzuki. It has been about a week since our fateful reunion at Sendai Ike. And in the meantime, Uzuki started sending me messages whenever she had time. The frequency is incomparable to when we were just Takumi and Yozora to each other. I quickly replied, busy with work. I'll get back to you later, and fidgeted with my ketai in my palm. In that presence, it feels like Uzuki herself, and it's a little unsettling. Maybe I should just turn off my ketai. I wandered through the school grounds, idly observing the surroundings as I was led from the main gate to the reception room. The school grounds was bustling with students during the break between classes, their voices echoing loudly. That's Kashi. Looking at them, almost a year younger than me, I can't believe I ever had my own student days. At that moment, I spotted a group of girls walking together towards the back of the hallway, probably heading to their next classroom. When girls act in a group, they become even more lively and vibrant than usual. But even that figure disappeared when I turned the corner, though her flustered voice lingered for a moment before fading away. I wonder if Uzuki is living her student life like that too. I just can't picture Uzuki in a seifuku. It seems like unless Uzuki's right in front of me, The version of her in my head reverts to being a kid again. It's probably because her talking style and writing don't match up in Aikotoba that I still see more of Yozora than Uzuki. Right, here it is. Well, let's do this. I knocked on the door of the reception room, feeling a bit nervous. I waited for someone to call out before stepping inside. Arigatou gozaimashita. Yeah, no need to see me off. I'm fine. それじゃあ、失礼します. After leaving the reception room, I suppressed my urge to stretch like crazy from being so tense and tried to maintain a calm expression as I started walking. I'll hold off on a reply for now, but the negotiations went well. I'd say it's a success for the time being. But even if it ended successfully, this is still enemy territory. We don't know who's watching or where. I had to avoid anything that could jeopardize the deal at any cost. It's already time to head home from school. It took longer than I thought. Should I contact the branch office and see if I could go home straight? I can go straight home. Gotta go back to office, man. I gave a quick nod to the students in club uniforms as I hurried down the hallway. Alright, my cat eye is off. Ah! I blinked repeatedly at the number of new notifications from Aikotoba that popped up as soon as I turned on my ketai. Uzuki is sending me way too many messages. She acts like I just got my first phone. The sheer number of messages I'm receiving is terrifying. Even for my Imoto, I might have to give her a stern warning.
全然連絡ないな。お兄ちゃん見てないのかな。
I caught the eye of a girl leaning against the school gate, scrolling on her ketai.
お兄ちゃん
Uzuki? What are you doing here?
なんでって、ここは私の通ってる学校だし。
Now that you mention it, Uzuki was wearing the same uniform as the other female students.
お兄ちゃんこそどうしてここに？
Why? I'm here for work. Didn't you see me say on Aikotoba that I was working?
それは覚えてるけど。じゃあ、仕事ってこの学園とだったの？
That's a crazy coincidence. Such a goozlin, I guess.
やっぱり運命数 99% って本当だね。
Ah, Uzuki. Soyori. Anyway. I tried to tell Uzuki she was messaging me too much, but then realized everyone around was staring, so I shut up. I figured the best thing to do was get out of here, so I blurted out what seemed like the quickest solution. If you're heading home, I can get you That sounds so wrong. Imagine an older guy just goes to like a schoolgirl. If you're heading home, I can give you a ride if you want. That is the worst thing you could say in front of Anyway. What's so funny?
だってまたお兄ちゃんと一緒に学校から帰れるなんて想像もしてなかったし。そうそう、昔も迎えに来てくれたことがあったよね。
And this was back when Uzuki still went to kindergarten. A few times when Okasan couldn't pick her up because of something, I ended up being the one who did.
私の学校にお兄ちゃんが仕事で来るなんて信じられないな。運命数 99% って本当にすごいね。あ、 これってさっきも言ったっけ？
You already did.
お兄ちゃんってばさっきからばっかり。どうしたの？
Oh man, she caught me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nervous.
どうして？
Maybe it's because this is the first time I've seen you in a seifuku. The truth is, I was more nervous than during the meeting earlier.
私もお兄ちゃんに制服姿を見てもらえるなんて思ってもみなかったよ。この前まではね。
Uzuki, walking ahead of me, lightly pinched the edge of her skirt and tore it around once, showing it off to me. If you're going to be so hyper, you'll fall.
転ばないよ。大丈夫。もう子供じゃないんだから。
Uzuki definitely didn't fall this time. Back then, she was kind of clumsy and always tripped whenever she ran. And Uzuki was always the one chasing after someone, while I waited for her, turning around and saying Hayaku. But right now, I'm the one chasing after Uzuki. As we walked home like that, Uzuki would stop halfway and turn around, the sunset at her back.
おじさんとおばさんに会っていく？
Personally, no, never mind. The relationship between Osaka and Sendai is complicated. I just wanted to avoid the trouble. Actually, try not to mention that I'm here.
どうしようかな。
Oi. Uzuki gives me a mischievous smile, her face richer and softer than when we first met again. Unlike me, who still hasn't fully reconciled the Yozora I see in front of me with the Imoto in my memories. The fact that Uzuki, of all people, could make such an expression, it's not just her appearance that's changed. I can't help but feel the passage of time.
じゃあ今度の日曜日に買い物に付き合ってくれない？そうしたら黙っておいてあげる。
And she even came up with these ridiculous terms for the exchange. Got it. But you absolutely had to keep this a secret.
お兄ちゃんを独り占めだ。
Oy. Half amused, half exasperated. I shrugged dramatically. And then, as we walked together a little longer and reached a fork in the road, Uzuki turned around and suddenly,
本当にここでお別れ。
Yotsuketeyo. Instead of words, Uzuki wiggles her tongue in response. Uzuki skipped the rest of the way home, occasionally glancing back with a dancing gait. Then, just as Uzuki's figure seemed to melt away into the sunset, a message notification arrived from Aikotoba.
今度の日曜日の約束、絶対に忘れないでくださいね。
Man, she really does love her these sides. In many ways, you know. Anyway, I chuckled really at Uzuki's obvious emotions, but I still felt a persistent ache in my chest that wouldn't go away. Thank God we're having character conflict. I don't want an easy blood-related
今度の日
relationship.
曜日の約束、絶対に忘れないでくださいね。
I typed a message and sent it, feeling as light as if I could fly. Me and my Oni-chan, making a promise to go shopping together. And that's so cool. Kakui, you better be on time too, got it? The reply came quickly, and even though this was great, it felt like proof that we were sharing the same time through Aikotoba, making me feel even better. His replies are still curt, compared to when we were interacting without knowing each other's identities. His messages have completely changed. But what I feel from that is that is the Oni-chan I've known since forever. I know he always acts like I'm a pain and boring, but really, no one's ever been as kind to me. Right now, the 7 years between us getting in the way when we were together in person. It feels like the both of us are forcing things a bit. Kinda awkward. But talking through Aikotoba like this makes me happy because it feels like we've gotten back to the old days. You know, each time they mention Aikotoba, it feels like an ad for like some messaging app. I don't know why. It'd be funny if a company makes a visual novel, but actually uses their name on the title and how that connected them to the family or some shit or whatever the fuck. Anyways, continue. Uzuki.
おばさん
Oh, Obasan's here. I turned around when I was suddenly called, and there stood Obasan, holding an echo bag. It looked like she just finished shopping on her way home from work. Good. If I had parted ways with Nissan a little earlier, we might have run into each other and caused trouble. Meiwaku. Where are you going in the middle of the road? Did something funny happen?
なんでもないです
So, you always look so happy glued to your ketai. I thought you finally got an karashi.
そんなことないですよ
Might as well. Oh, I hit the nail on the head, huh? You're at that age where it's not surprising to have those kinds of feelings. But if you start dating someone, make sure they're a good person.
だから彼氏じゃないですってば
He's not my karashi. He's my Oni-chan. But that's a secret even from my kind Obasan. Absolutely Himitsu. Okay. I'm going home now. Will you help me with dinner when I get back?
はーい
When we get back, because they're both going home. You have to learn how to cook properly and make it for your karashi. So even though he's not my karashi, but back when I didn't know Takumi was my Oni-chan, it's not like I never thought about what it would be like if he were my karashi. Oh, she had those thoughts. Because no matter what we talked about, it was fun. He was kind. And he acted so mature. But Takumi isn't here anymore. Instead, I have my Oni-chan Takumi. That's a good thing. A really, really good thing. Sugoku. But I don't know. It feels weird somehow. Doshita? You suddenly lost all your energy. You get too carried away and wear yourself out. Okay, it's good to know that both of them have the little conflict coming up here. You know what? The her side kind of thing is helping with the narrative. I like this.
そんなことないです
Really? Well, good for you then. My boss-san gave me a wry smile and lightly patted my head. I said she must understood
お
something.
兄ちゃんに会いたくなっちゃった
Usugi, that's それは. When I tried it, Obasa's expression visibly changed.
分かってます会っちゃいけないっていうことは
It's not that I'm saying no, but
平気です
why did we have to be separated? I didn't get a clear explanation, but even as a kid, I understood it was a delicate issue that shouldn't be touched. Wait, I'm trying to translate if this is right because it says here Uzuki-chan really loved you. That if we're family, I want to be with her. Who's saying this? My boss-san smiled at me as if to encourage me. It might be difficult now, but someday you'll be able to see without hesitation. So
分かってます。本当に大丈夫です。
my kind Obasan, my adopted Okasan, there's just one thing I'd like to correct about what you said. I'm not talking about the past. I still love you, Oni-chan. Should we head home? Then it's going to be late if we don't.
そうですね。
I force a smile to reassure my Obasan, suppressing the urge to show my true feelings. I like the OSTs very effective. Like they're almost they're kind of in the territory of a little generic, but at the same time they sound just enough that it really hits me. Like, you know, she said that I forced a smile to reassure my Obasan. The OST just started to hit me, or maybe I'm just in a certain kind of state right now. And I don't want to worry my Obasan in what's on in Japanese. So I got good at hiding things over these past 7 years. But I think, Oji-san, I like him. I want to be together. And I want to spend the same time with him. Laughing, crying, and sometimes even getting angry. I want to share so much time, so many feelings with you, just like we did back then. And no one can stop these feelings anymore. Or so I thought.
じゃあもう同じ気持ちだといいな。
The day I promised to go shopping with Uzuki has finally arrived. I arrive at Sunday Kunai, in front of the stained glass window, the same spot as last time, 10 minutes early, but Uzuki was already there. Sorry for making you wait.
今来たところだよ。
I thought it was just a casual exchange, but then there was a pause. Uzuki suddenly started giggling. What's wrong? Did they say something weird?
そうじゃなくて。なんか漫画みたいなやりとりだったなーって。 本当にそういう会話することあるんだって思ったらおかしくなってきちゃって。
Jesus Christ, fucking weak. Well, when you put it that way, Uzuki's still giggling. I guess she's at the age where even drop chopsticks are funny. So, we're shopping. Where are we going?
そんなに遠くじゃないよ。すぐそこのショッピングモール。
Uzuki said that, pointing, looking where her thin white finger was pointing. It really was right there. All right, let's go then. I thought I'd quickly get what I wanted and be done with it, but Uzuki's muttering and her hand reached out, stopping me. Doshita?
なんでもない。
I didn't think it was nothing. I tried to figure out what it was. But when I saw Uzuki hesitantly pull her hand back, that's when it clicked. Ah, I get it. You want to hold hands, huh? We used to do that a lot when we were kids. If I didn't, you get lost in an instant. You just know. Before she knew it, Uzuki had a look of surprise on her face. What is it this time?
つないでほしいってなんでわかったのかなって。
You understand, right? It's that obvious. Then Uzuki starts chuckling again. Seriously, I had no idea what's so funny.
なんでもないから。ただちょっと。
And this time, nothing much. It was actually full of fun and humor, and truly nothing happening at all. Come on. If you want to hold hands, let's do it. It'll be a pain if we got separated with so many people around. Uzuki's damp, warm hand touched the one I offered. Her grip hesitant and gentle, almost fragile. It had been 7 years since I last held Uzuki's hand. She'd grown so much since then, but the warmth of her hand and mine just felt just like it did back then. What's wrong this time?
兄ちゃんって大きい。なんだか大人の人みたい。
Yeah, well, I am an adult.
力も強い。
Sorry about that. Did it hurt?
そうじゃないよ。ただお兄ちゃんってやっぱり男の人だなーって。
What the hell does that light even mean? You know, sometimes when... Anyway, never mind. What's that? Uzuki stares intently at our class hats, as if they are something rare. They're not.
手をつなぐとこれからデートするみたいだね。
Just no. Date? Well, I guess it is a date. Uzuki looked down, embarrassing herself, but she didn't let go of my hand. I wonder what to make of it, but even for my imoto, that's actually pretty cute. A pretty cute reaction. So, and this is what it'll be like when Uzuki gets a kareshi.
彼氏なんかいないわよ。というかお兄ちゃんこそ彼女はどうなの？
There's no her, not anymore.
本当に？でもお兄ちゃんモテそうだからな。
That's just family bias. Or maybe Uzuki's romanticizing me too much. I just realized. If your imoto ever says that about you, that's a sign for something, man. Maybe a good sign or bad sign. It depends on your situation, man. But anyway. Well, but Uzuki's bound to figure it out eventually.
そんなことないよ。
Really? But Uzuki seems like she'd be popular.
あ、それ言いたいだけだ。
So, what's it really like? Getting head on or confess to?
それぐらいはもう経験あるけど。
Women. Anyway. See? I knew it.
でもすぐ断ったもん。それなのにしつこかったからついこうやって。
Uzuki demonstrates her swings with a flat hat. I'm impressed by the beautiful art of it all. Nagao, huh? You're really going for it. Please don't do that to me.
そんなことしないよ。
Seriously, this is dangerous. So, the persistent guy, she punched him. Okay. I like that, actually. I like that. Girl isn't scared to fight.
振りだけだから。それに今は大丈夫だもん。こうやって彼氏と一緒だから。
What did she mean by this? Uzuki said that, showing off my hand that she was holding, shaking it back and forth as if shyly smiling. What an honor. I returned Uzuki's joke with a joke of my own, to gently squeeze her hand back in response to her full force grip. It wasn't like she was trying to crush me. Why? Looking at Uzuki's wonderful smile, I think, if I hadn't reunited with Uzuki, would I still be in love with Yozara from the secret base we built inside Aikotoba? I don't know. Either way, that possibility is already lost forever. The hand I'm holding now isn't Yozara's, it's Uzuki's. The hand of my taisetsu na imoto.
お兄ちゃん？
Nandemonai, let's head out soon. Uzuki, can you show the way to the shop? Uzuki laughs. I laughed too. But I'm sure my smile is.
ねえねえお兄ちゃん、これどうかな。
Yeah, I think it suits you. I gave a distracted nod to Uzuki as she held the winter blouse against herself, checking the size.
そうかな。あ、こっちのもかわいい。お兄ちゃんはどういう服が好き？昔はフェミニンっぽいのが好きだったっけ？あ、でもね、私友達に切れかじっぽいのが似合うって言われてね。男の人はどっちかっていうとコンサバ好きだよね。
Go ahead. I don't understand a word you're saying. Uzuki's words sound like they're in a language from another world. It's no surprise that Uzuki only goes to women's fashion stores, which she does some window shopping. And that means there are mostly women around, both staff and customers, which makes me, as a guy, feel pretty out of place. Yeah, I bet. A store clerk's already coming over. Would you like to turn it on? I think your Kadashis would find it easier to decide that way.
いえ、大丈夫です。今日はちょっと下見っていうか。
Before she knew it, a female shop assistant had approached from behind, and Uzuki hurriedly pulled her hand away from mine to escape the store. どうしたの？
お兄ちゃんのこと彼氏さんだって。
I hate this translation. We know that she meant to say, my brother's my Kadashi, right? But here it's like, you're my brother's Kadashi, right? I'm like, what the fuck? You don't like it. Just correct her.
嫌なのはお兄ちゃんの方じゃないの？
I don't care what the staff thinks.
そう？なんか大人。
This Uzuki different?
私はありだよ。だってお兄ちゃんと服を買いに来てるって思われるよりずっと格好がつくし。つくよね。
Wait, what the hell is the I'm an at? What's the actual translation? Let me retranslate this. I can do this. All right, OCR translation. Tell me what this is. I'm here for research. It's way more respectful than people thinking I came to buy clothes, right? Okay. What the hell was that hallucination by the LLM? Don't catch me.
つくよ。だってお兄ちゃんかっこいいし。
You keep saying that, I'll get a big head, but even my emote says that. And that's also my true feeling.
もしかして照れてる？
Yeah, you're just dumbfounded. Uzuki puffs out her cheeks.
もん。お兄ちゃんがどう思っていても今日のお兄ちゃんは私の彼氏役だもん。
Every emote damn time. Yeah, sure. So anything else? Any other places you want to check out?
あそこ。
Uzuki pointed to an accessory shop, a casual place where even teens could afford something, not one of those fancy jewel stores. Uzuki stared, captivated, at the cheaply glittering rings and pendants lined up on display itself.
そういえばお兄ちゃんはアクセサリーって好きじゃなかったよね。ペンダントとか首にまとわりついて気持ち悪いって言ってたし、腕時計とかもゾワゾワするから嫌だってなんか古代人みたいなこと言ってた気がする。
What the fuck is this? Let me retranslate this. So he doesn't like necklaces and watches. Okay. I wanted to ask if she knew any ancient people, but since But since I'm a salesman right now, wearing a watch, that embarrassment worn out. Hey, can you remember something like that so well?
覚えてるよ。だってお兄ちゃんのことだし。
I just wanted her to forget only about the watch, but no way. No chance. Speaking of pendant, though, I think I gave one to Uzuki once.
お月様の形のペンダント。
That's a cheap shot. Uzuki's U comes from Usagi, since Usagi are associated with the ski, and her name even has a ski character in it. It's only fitting she'd have a ski-shaped pendant. Even so, back then, I was completely convinced that it was the only possible gift.
そんなことないよ。すっごく嬉しかったんだもん。今でも時々身につけてるくらいだもん。
So childish even now. I gave her that present over 7 years ago, before we were separated. Uzuki's so grown up now. She deserves accessories that really suit her. Right. Just looking without buying anything would be boring, wouldn't it be? I'll buy you one of your favorites.
いいの？
I'm a single working adult, so I got plenty of disposable income. No, it'll be nice if you could keep the cost down. I totally understand that feeling. Anyway. When I forced a laugh, Uzuki giggled too.
じゃあ
Uzuki leaned in so close, her nose almost touched, peering at the display itself. Then, as if struck by a sudden realization, she looked up with an oddly satisfied expression. Hmm? What's wrong? I said that before, but you don't have to hold back.
やっぱり
If you change your mind later and want me to buy it, it'll be too late.
欲しいのがなかったから。
And that's how you feel. What kind of place did you want? I could have gone to another shop.
いいの。それよりお兄ちゃん、私お腹が空いちゃった。
So you're more interested in eating than being... What? Wait, literally the word seductive? Is that correct?
そういうこと。
Maybe it's too early. We're too early in the story for the word seductive. What did she mean? What was that supposed to be? Or maybe it was meant to be like sexy or something. Wait, but that'll still be a weird thing to say this early on. Anyway, I don't know what Madeline was thinking. Uzuki smiled, tilting her head up at me with an expectant look at her eyes. Ja, instead of accessories, I'll treat you to lunch.
何食べようかな。お寿司がいいかな。お肉かな。イタリアンもいいな。お兄ちゃんは何食べたい？
Sounds fancy. Ramen. Good choice, my brother.
もっとおしゃれなもの食べようよ。
Oh, she's one of those. Even ramen's gotten pretty fancy these days, you know? You haven't heard? Yeah. Remember, there was a time when ramen was like 400 yen. But now it's normal for what, 1,300 yen? What the hell is that about? According to my Japanese friend. Anyway.
じゃあ間を取ってパスタでどう？
Well, noodles are noodles. And the rest of the floor is... over there, I guess.
そうだよ。
あそこです。
もうすぐお昼だから人が多いね。早く行かなきゃパスタ屋さんの席埋まっちゃうかも。
Pasta, yeah. That's the first time I heard a pasta place referred as a pasta, yeah. Anyway. As Uzuka said, it's almost noon now, and there are a lot of families and couples around. What do you think people around us must be thinking, seeing us holding hands like that when we're not even dating? Still pasta, huh? Seeing families like that always reminds me of something. I can't help but smile softly.
私がパスタ食べるとなんか変？
But back then, when we used to go to the department store together on rare days off, right? Wait, give me a second. I need to drink an antihistamine. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Me, Kasan, Tosan, Uzuki. And those are replaceable moments when the whole family was together. And they'll never come back again. But for now, Takumi and Uzuki's time together continues. It won't last forever either, but I want to make it last as long as possible. That's what I think.
ちゃんと覚えてるよ。みんなでご飯食べた後、アイスクリーム屋さんでイチゴのアイスクリームを食べるのが好きだったな。
Ice cream, yeah. I'm learning a lot of. Whenever I went to the department store food court, Uzuki always copied me and ate ramen. Whenever I tried to eat something else, she'd said, "Oni-chan, aren't you having ramen today?" In the end, Uzuki loved ramen more than I did. Uzuki stares at me with wide eyes, like she doesn't remember a thing. Uzuki, of all people, saying ramen isn't stylish and pasta is better. That's just hilarious. I laughed as I spoke, and Uzuki blushed slightly, probably embarrassed by me digging up something she didn't even remember.
別にラーメンが嫌いになったわけじゃなくて、デートなんだからパスタの方がそれっぽいかなって思っただけで。
That's why one of the things that are important to me when I look for a partner, she has to be like enjoying ramen as a bare minimum. One of the bare minimums. Anyway. Right. When we went to the department store together, everyone always brought their favorite stuffed animal, remember?
覚えてるよ。
Really good to me. Okasa told me to hold on to it because I'd lose it if I dropped it. But of course, I dropped it anyway. And that was a real disaster. You cried so hard back then. Wait, my Kasa? This is weird.
私が泣いてたら、お兄ちゃんがなくしたぬいぐるみを探しに行ってくれたんだよね。
Oh yeah, I knew it. It was her. He was the one.
本当に見つけてきてくれて。
If I bring it, she'll cry again.
それは嬉しかったから。もう子供の頃みたいに泣き虫じゃないもん。昔のことばっかり持ち出してこないで。
Uzuki pouted slightly in protest. I hope so. If Uzuki starts bawling her eyes out now, I don't know what I'll do.
泣かないったら。
Okay, how about we grab lunch, then check out that movie marathon. They're showing a bunch of tear jerkers. I point to the movie theater inside the shopping mall.
お兄ちゃんこそ泣かないでね。私はもう泣かないけど。
You know, honestly, I think going out on a special date to watch a movie is a waste of time. You could be spending time with your partner. But if it's like your casual, nothing to do kind of date, it's totally fine. But if it's like one of your first dates, just don't, man. Just spend more time with your partner, man. Because if you go to a movie, sure, it's just like you get some you get some topics to talk about and all that stuff. But most of the time, you're just gonna sit there in the cinema and just like not spend time with your partner, unless that really is the thing you guys both like. But most of the time, it's just like just gonna sit there. You're just gonna sit there. Anyway. Seriously, how long are you gonna cry? Even your nose is running. Aware of the strange looks, I wipe Uzuki's sullen face with my handkerchief.
あんなの見たら泣くよ。なんでお兄ちゃんは泣かないの？
Uzuki stared at me with a look of disbelief as she blew her nose vigorously into the pocket tissue I gave her. So overdone. No one would cry that. But it's clearly trying too hard to make you cry. Just turns me off.
お兄ちゃんの冷血感。
Never heard those words in real life before. While I waited on the park bench for Uzuki to calm down, I replayed her behavior from today in my head. During the date though, Uzuki's expressions and actions somehow felt funny to me, and I quietly
お
chuckled.
兄ちゃん、なんで笑ってるの？
Huh? Oh, what should I say? I pondered lightly, searching for the right words. 7 years since we last met. I thought that Uzuki had changed completely. But then I realized some things never changed, which was kind of a letdown.
呆れないでよ。そこは変わらないところもあってほっとするところだと思うんだけど。
I guess so. As the cold evening wind blew true, I shivered slightly from the chill. It's getting colder and colder.
高くしておかないと風邪ひいちゃうよ。
I thought so too. I took a sip of the black canned coffee I bought before entering the koe. The hot liquid slid down my throat and into my stomach, leaving a small warmth inside me.
ご飯をごちそうしてくれたお礼にマフラーでも編んであげようか。
Sure, I won't be here that long anyway.
そうなの？
Oh no, the look of visible sadness in her eyes. I remember that I only mentioned having a business trip in Sendai and Aikodoba, but didn't explain the exact dates. If negotiations go smoothly, I just need to hand things over here and head back to Osaka. Yeah, it shouldn't take more than a month, maybe 2 at most probably.
1ヶ月。
Uzuki slumped, truly dejected, and I gave a wry smile as I took a sip of my canned coffee. I'll hang out with you then, when I have time until then.
本当に？嘘つかない？じゃあまた一緒に帰ったりデートしたりしようね。
Is it really fun dating as siblings like that?
今日もすっごく楽しかった。
Felt that side effect. Uzuki snuggled closer as if her mood had improved. When it gets that close, I can smell Uzuki's girly scent, something like perfume. For me, that's a complicated, faint-tinged aroma. Uzuki snatched a can of coffee from my distracted hands and chucked it down in one gulp. Why is she stealing my coffee, man?
やっぱりコーヒーって苦手。
Don't drink it. Seriously. Uzuki's always hated bitter things. Her go-to drinks were sweet ones. Even after 7 years, and there are still things that haven't changed, just like Uzuki said, and I feel a strange sense of relief about it.
ちょっと寒かったし、飲んでみたかったんだもん。
Uzuki sticks out her tongue in protest, and the way that red tongue flicks across her lips feels strangely alluring, making me reflexively look away.
お兄ちゃん、怒ってる？
I'm not angry.
嘘。そういえばお兄ちゃん、おかずをつまみ食いした時はすごく怒ってた気がする。いつもは優しいのに、もう赤鬼みたいに怒ってた。
I was about to ask what you were talking about, but she already sensed my feelings from earlier. It's probably better to just leave things as they are. Yeah, I guess you're right. Grudges are scary.
やっぱり！
I knew it. That's what she said, by the way. Well, I'm not really angry. I'm not really mad. I mean, no, it's all. We'll get angry over just coffee.
やっぱり私、新しいの買ってくるね。
I grabbed Yuzuki's hand, and she tried to run and shook her head silently.
兄ちゃん
No, I shook my head silently. I mean, hey, that's late. Let's head home before Obasan and Oji-chan. We worry Obasan and Oji-chan too much.
そうだね
He doesn't want the date to end. What's this? You're surprisingly reasonable.
また次のお休みの日にデートしてくれるならだけど
I told you, I'll hang out when I have time.
お兄ちゃんとまたデー
I thought you'd grown up a lot, but seeing you like this, running around and having fun, you're still just a kid at heart. Then, just like last time, I escorted Uzuki to Sendai Ikimai station, ticket gate, and saw her off. As soon as Uzuki disappeared from sight, I got a message notification from Yosara.
今日は楽しかったですまたデートに行きましょうね
Yosara. Uzuki. Yosara. Uzuki. Just a name, but it still gets to me. Man, she really supports Aiko Doma. Look at those plushies. He really supported. It's like getting the line mascot plushie for some reason. Anyway. That night, I thought it was almost bedtime, so I got into bed, but I couldn't sleep at all. Ever since coming back from the date with my Oni-chan, I felt like my nerves are on edge. I gave up trying to force myself to sleep and stared out the window. The moon was rising in the Yosara, casting a faint glow on the dark ground below. My name, Uzuki, means fort what in the lunar calendar, but the U also represents an Usagi. So I like looking up at the ski. It makes me feel like it's mine. After my Oni-chan left, whenever I felt lonely at night, I always look at the Suki and cry. The day after I cried, my eyes were puffy and red. My friends always tease me that I look like an Usagi, true to my name.
今日は楽しかったな
I'm exhausted from walking around all day on my date with my Oni-chan, but I can't sleep. It's so frustrating. I tried to take the time worthwhile, so I forced myself to think about my next date.
今度はどこに遊びに行こうかな
Today was mostly shopping, so how about a picnic next time? But winter picnics are cold, or maybe that's actually kind of nice. I don't think that's not kind of nice. No, don't do that. It's a bad idea. Personal experience. Anyway, try to pick a warm day and make him lunch. We can do something like sightseeing, and if it gets cold, we can go inside some stylish place. No good. If I keep imagining it, I won't be able to stop. My nerves are already on edge from anticipation, and now I can barely sleep at all.
そうだ
I wonder if my Oni-chan sent me a message. When I checked my smartphone, there was no notifications. I was about to send it, but I figured you might already be asleep, so I decided not to. I moved away from the window and opened one of the drawers in the small cabinet filled with various things. And there, my treasure sleeps alongside me. My most precious possession. It is the pendento my Oni-chan gave me a long time ago. I opened the small shell, took out the pendento I stored there, and when I tried wearing it, memories of that romance movie I watched today came flooding back. In that movie, the pendento plays a really important role in connecting their feelings in the story.
思い出したらまた泣けてきた
The movie ended with a happy kiss between the shujinko and the heroine. I watched that movie so many times, wishing I could be loved like that and experience such a passionate, stormy romance. Of course, the whole point is to end up happy. I absolutely hate sad love stories. But like, what kind of guy would I want to end up with like that? At times like this, the only man I can picture is my Oni-chan. Or rather for me, otoko just means my Oni-chan. Base words there. I haven't really liked any boys before, or even when I watch TV. I don't have a favorite actor or idol. I remember telling my friends that and they were totally shocked. In that one scene from the rom-com I watched today, the shujinko swaps places with my Oni-chan, and the heroine swaps places with me. The movie ended with a kiss, but in real life, it probably wouldn't end there. Not that there's such a passionate one.
キスの先か。
She's thinking about it. Imagining. No. Fantasizing made my already feverish body even hotter. It's not like I don't find that kind of thing interesting at all. Sometimes I even feel like it.
ちょっとくらいいいよね。
What do you mean a little bit? I got up, peeked out of my room to make sure my Oma-san and Oji-san were already asleep, then reached for the light switch. Wait, is she gonna jill off? Of course. This is the kind of VN. This is one of those VNs. The chain of my necklace against my neck feels strangely cold. No, that's not it. My body is just hot.
お兄ちゃん。
I knew it. She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. Delirious, I call out for my Uni-chan. Of course, the darkness didn't answer me. But it helps fuel my fantasies. I imagine being hugged by my Uni-chan and try hugging myself, but it's just not enough. Until now, it was just an imaginary Uni-chan from my imagination, Soso, who was the one touching me. Ooh. But now I know the size of my Homono Uni-chan's hands, how strong he is, and the warmth that came from holding his hand. So, I can't help but compare it to the real thing, but
このままじゃ切ないよ。
for a moment I almost backed back to reality. But the lust that had taken root couldn't be contained any longer.
お兄ちゃん、もっとギュッてして。
As I said that, I clutched a pendento in my hand as if it were my Uni-chan. I got it a long time ago. Back then, my Uni-chan couldn't afford anything expensive, so I know it's not worth much money. But to me, it's worth more than any beautiful precious metal, or even the most dazzling gem. That pendento, it's been the starting point of my fantasies for a while now. First, like in a movie, I get this pendento as a gift, then would kiss. What comes next? Well, it wasn't shown.
ねえ、お兄ちゃん。私のこと好き？
My delusional Uni-chan is always saying the weirdest things. But when it comes to important stuff, you never say anything. At least, if only the Oni-chan in my dreams would grant me what I wish for. They should forgive me for something like that. And the world, and my Oni-chan too.
起きたらシーツ交換しなきゃ。
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. That was a nice read. Uzuki runs up to me.
お兄ちゃんお待たせ。
Ah, Kokoro.
疲れてるのはお兄ちゃんの方でしょ。いつもお仕事お疲れ様です。
Oh, I mean, Otsukare. Otsukare-san. Anyway. Huh? So you learned to use that kind of charm, huh?
私だってもう大人だし。
An adult? Saying that. Do you even sleep properly at night? Oh. Oh. What did she do last night, huh? I still vividly remember the time Uzuki called me crying late at night when we were staying at a relative's house. I just made a light-hearted joke about it, but Uzuki was more flustered than I expected. Her ears are bright red. Just know.
お兄ちゃん、何を言って。
So, Uzuki still remembers the night terrors.
泣きってああ、なんだそういうびっくりした。
You just know. Seriously? You still get lonely and cry when you're alone? I wonder how you manage without me.
そうじゃなくて。っていうかお兄ちゃんまた昔の話を持ち出して。
Was I wrong?
そんなわけないよ。もう子供じゃないんだから。
She panicked, then calmed down, then got angry. Her ever-changing expressions made me think girls are complicated. Alright, I guess I'll be singing lullabies from tonight.
いらないし。でもお兄ちゃんがお休みしてくれるならやっぱりありかも。
Stay late doing what? Seriously, how serious are you? So today is...
駅前に美味しいパンケーキのお店があるの。それでね。
Oishi pancake. Uzuki looks up with me, sparkling eyes, her gaze lingering just above mine. Okay, I'll go with you.
やったー。
But don't overdo it, or you won't have room for dinner.
でもお兄ちゃんはたくさん食べられるね。
Every time, man. Every damn time. Anyway. I eat separately too.
そうなんだ。男の人ってそういうの無頓着そうだから。
Yeah, maybe. Yesterday's dinner was gyudon, and the day before that was ramen.
今日
Too much of a hassle to eat out somewhere. I guess company bento it is.
うわ
So, will my Imoto cook me some dinner tonight? See? That's why you can't trust men, Uzuki said, shaking her head. What's with that face? You need to balance things out and eat some salad too.
ーフライドポテトとか
Fried potato. Am I American? You see, know what fried potato is? They're referring to French fries. Let's go.
さすがにそれはないか。
What about you, Zuki?
ね、今日はお魚かな。赤魚が美味しそうだったから生姜と一緒に煮付けにするの。
A little fancy. At least for me. Because that's Red Sea being is kind of rare outside Japan. Is this our line? I'm being responsible.
当たり前だよ。
You're being
おばさん
responsible.
と一緒にしてるんだから。 それより私お兄ちゃんのことが心配になってきた。今はいいかもしれないけど、そのままじゃお兄ちゃんがもっと年を取った時何ヶ月ですかってお腹さすられちゃうよ。そんなお兄ちゃんやだな。
You just know. I'll make sure to do it properly before then.
どうやって？
Yeah. Wait, let me retranslate the whole thing. Yeah, I deep fried potatoes in oil to balance things out. Just kidding. Uzuki puts on a serious
お
face.
兄ちゃんが今住んでるところって台所ないの？
I have one, but I only use it to boil water for instant cup of men.
じゃあ今度私がご飯作りに行ってあげる。
Huh? Sure, whatever. Uzuki's got her hands full with chores after school anyway.
大丈夫だよ。それより私がお兄ちゃんのためにご飯を作ってあげたいの。
Even though it was just a temporary company apartment, I still feel reluctant to have Uzuki move in. What do you mean move in? She's just visiting to make gohan. Unless... After 7 years seeing Uzuki again, the way she looks at me, her little comments, I've forgotten who Uzuki even is. And I'm just feeling... And it just feels like... Wait, what? I'm just feeling like a woman? Like I am what? What? I think this is meant... She just feels like a woman. Like... She is what? I'm a little confused by this. Let me retranslate this. Oh, okay, I get it. Let me reread this. After 7 years seeing Uzuki again, her expression directed to me, even her little remarks. I've forgotten who she is and just feeling like she is a woman. Like I already am. Okay. Maybe she's not Uzuki at all, but another woman who looks a lot like her, like, say, Yozora. Even that crossed my mind. Of course, there's no way it could be true. Maybe I'm just weird for feeling like my Imoto is a woman. Or rather, the proper way to say this, I'm thinking about my Imoto as a woman. I mean, in a way that's not family. But as you're thinking more of her as a woman. Anyway, that's why, precisely because I'm aware of it, and because my Imoto Uzuki is so cute, I need to consciously keep at some distance. It's hard to say that, but what should I do now? How can I appease her? Well, it's company housing, so I'm a bit hesitant to let outsiders
こ
in.
の場合、妹は関係者でしょうか、あるいは関係者ではないでしょうか。丸×で答えなさい。
それは、As I was trying to come up with my next excuse, my smartphone inside my pocket vibrated. Go man, it's a call. Taking a chance, I quickly excused myself to Uzuki and answered the call. It was from my boss at assignment. Hi, Mizukami. Thanks for the hard work. Otsukare-san deshita. Yeah, hi. Toka. No, I'm relieved. Tomorrow? That's pretty sudden. No, I understand. I'll get back right away and gather the new materials. Hi. じゃあ、失礼します。I hang up and take a breath. Sorry for making you wait. What's with the look on your face? Uzuki was looking at me with an oddly impressed expression.
すごい。お兄ちゃん、ちゃんと仕事してる。
When your unemployed friends look at you doing some work, be like, yeah, well, duh.
だってお兄ちゃんがあんな風に電話をしてるなんて信じられないもん。別の人みたいだった。
I thought something was up, but, well, I don't mind being impressed. I don't mind her being impressed like that. More importantly, I'm going to Uzuki school again tomorrow.
お仕事うまくいったの？
Now comes the hard part. I got him to let me in. And listen, but that's just the
じゃ
beginning.
あ明日校門の前でお兄ちゃんをお出迎えしてあげよっか。
Yeah. You have to stop that. If they get the wrong idea about me because of something like that, it'll be a problem.
変な誤解って？
Look, Uzuki's a student now, so lately she gets weirdly suspected of things over nothing.
私たちは兄弟ですってちゃんと説明すればいいんじゃない？それに身内が生徒だったら変なものは持ってこないだろうって信用されるんじゃないかな。
But still not. I mean, it's still kind of like, or sometimes being related to someone makes them hard. Someone makes them scrutinize you even harder. Uzuki frowns, clearly displeased. とにかく, you'll be in class, so I can't pick you up. Just focus on studying quietly.
だね。
So I had to rush and prepare the materials. So, go man. But we're done for today. I'll make it up with panna cotta next time.
パンナコッタじゃなくてパンケーキっていうかなんかお兄ちゃん逃げようとしてない？
That's not true. Yes. I need to use this situation to slip away before Uzuki brings out the story about her cooking for me at the company dorm. See ya. Try not to get lost in the dark on your way home.
お兄ちゃんもお仕事頑張ってね。
I felt a twinge of guilt as Uzuki waved and cheered me on. Then I took off running towards this office for an unexpected overtime shift. The life of a wagey cagey. Wait, that's me. That's why I wasn't able to do much last Friday. Anyway, I mean, our stuff, not work stuff. I did a lot of work stuff last Friday night. Anyway, the next day in the afternoon, I went to Uzuki's Gakuen with product samples and various documents. There's a different kind of tension here now, not from work. It must be because I'm aware Uzuki goes to this Gakuen. I should stop soon. No, you know what? No, I should stop here. I'm gonna give you Aikotoba tomorrow. I heard the story short, so we could be finished with it in 2-3 days, maybe. Then we'll move to the next large PN. Unless I suddenly feel like playing Resident Evil 9 for some reason. I kind of doubt it, but it's still in my mind. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are watching, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Ciao. I'll just play that Mamatsumi ending song.
帰ってほしい。今度は二人で過ごす未来のため、失った数だけ抱きしめてもっと
ねえねえ、あの噂知ってる？ 13 年前にこの学校で殺人事件があったって、あれ？そうそう。当時騒がれてた通り魔事件の犯人がこの学校に来て女生徒を一人殺しちゃって、吸血鬼って呼ばれてたらしいよ。
昨日はしゃぎすぎた皆さん、レスキュー開始。モーニングレスキュー、モーニングレスキュー、モーニング。
辛い奴を救え、ウコンの力、モーニングレスキュー。
補充しよう。
私がここにいるよ。好きだって好きだって飛び込んだなら受け止めてくれますか。舞い散るこの葉を見上げて思うシンフォニーラブ、君へと奏でる想いが真っ白に咲くよ。色づき始めた空、未来を染めてく二人で見たい。真っ白色シンフォニーラブイズピュアホワイトリメイク4フル HD、 そして真っ白色シンフォニーサナエディション同時発売決定。コミックマーケット100にてメインビジュアル初公開。